Excuse me. Hey, good afternoon, guys. Good evening. This is Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for April 4th, 2014, 2024. Trying to find my pen. Heck. Where is my pen? Oh, sorry. All right, I'm going to start with the sniper trade of the day. Today was a day when standard work for abnormal conditions paid off. Here's an example trade in XLI. This is S&P Industrials. Here's where stalking the Fed begins. We've got a R10 risk box, about 16 cents. The channel around the VWAP waiting for the Fed to speak is an R10 box all afternoon. Here's where the Fed gets ready to speak. Here's where it breaks below the previous belly of the RL10. Here's the second position at the 2R battle drill, the third position at the 4R battle drill, fourth position, fifth position. Notice that the PSAR is a great guide all the way down. It continues to sell off until about 3:30, so there's half an hour left in the market. This is 11R from the beginning of that move. It can't quite break through there and reverses. I take it at the skin of the dragon, right about here. And so the first position earns 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Therefore, 8, 6, 4, and 2. And that's what 30R looks like in the afternoon on a very liquid sector spider that was poised in a critical state. And that's standard sniper trade. So thank you, Fed. And then tomorrow's a jobs report. So watch for some more volatility there. Meanwhile, back to the 30-minute charts. So we took the exit in Alcoa when it did not go up, but started to stall. And it was a Fed day anyway. So when it couldn't go any higher and started to fail, we take it at the VWAP, and that's also about 30R on 4 positions with standard risk. And then after the Fed spoke, short standard risk picked up an extra 3R in one of my standard tradables. AI was an afternoon collapse of 2R. Caterpillar, I exited just before the Fed started to speak, didn't play this because I was playing XLI, although that is an extraordinary move. It's just easier to play the ETF. Cliff, I cashed at the PSAR flip yesterday's entry, and then after the Fed spoke. CLF is usually a little more volatile than Caterpillar. In this case, it was not. gave a half an hour. CVS, tried the early morning continuation, but it scratched when the Fed started talking. DIA, I was all in on XLI, but I could have been all in on DIA. That one returned 5R after the Fed spoke, and that's after I let it go through the Bollinger Band main and the PSAR flip and the 30-day anchored VWAP. So that's a collapsing dragon off of this belly of the RL10, and that's 5R. In the Dow, just as a point of reference, in the Dow Mini, that goes from about 391.30 to 386, call it 30. That's $5. That's $5 a penny on the E-mini. So on one contract, that move represents $2,500 in about 90 minutes. The price of the foundations course is approximately that, which you have access to for life. Disney, 3R on the collapse. Devon Energy, no trade, although energy was weak today. Emerging markets, about 6R on the collapse. That's always very vulnerable to changes in the US markets. And so when the S&P started collapsing, so did EEM. And I'm not going to hold overnight risk on it. ETHE, no trade. Mexico, tried long, scratch, stopped in reverse, 3R for the Fed. Brazil, even better, about 5R on the collapse. Home Depot, the short was there, but I was fully engaged with XLI. Intel showed late weakness, IP, no trade. IYR has been very vulnerable. So when the market started to collapse here, I just played along, and that's 4R, and I expect more weakness tomorrow. Coca-Cola, this is the second entry on what has been a 3-day swing trade, and that thing just dropped like a stone, and that's about 9R on 2 positions with a really nice buffer. I think that's going to attract some buying attention tomorrow because it just got down to where the last buying splurge hit. And that's a significant move away from the anchored 30-period VWAP. So I'm ready for a rally in Coke. Couple are in regional banks. McDonald's, the bottom dropped out of that one for 3R. 4R in 3M. Merck, I just ran out of span of control there. Microsoft, I did play, and that's a leader that just absolutely got murdered. That's 7R, and I don't know how that doesn't attract attention for the long-term buyers, right? Because you're getting Microsoft on an incredible sale. So let's be ready for that one as a rebound play. If there's any tech leadership tomorrow, expect to see Microsoft to do well. Marijuana, 10R in the usual way. I love Fed days. I mean, NVIDIA, clean energy was a short. I'm going to hold that one overnight. Palantir was a couple R on a collapse. Rivian, an R. SOUN was an interesting one. It was an early morning entry and was up over an R. And then this was just before the Fed, and I was a little late getting out, so a fraction. That's how the S&P reacted. If you're trading that on 3-minute bars, I mean, Jiminy crickets. That's not frightening volatility. That's actionable volatility. Treasury showing some nice recovery. Tesla 123 entry in the morning, and I exited just before the Fed started talking. That's about 4 hours. Walmart, no trade. US Steel. I thought hard about getting short here, but it was a span of control. And so rather than playing individual companies, I played XLI. So here's the first position. And then when it blasted through the Bollinger Band mean in the 5 period, I finally woke up to the fact that I should probably have a second position on there. And this is with the swing trade portion of it, not counting the 30R on the 3 minute. This is just about 10R, maybe 12 on the 30-minute chart. So let's see. Take a look at the traders. Why is it gonna do that? All right, there's Eugene with some fractional gains in here in Bitcoin. My brother's trade yesterday on SOUN manifested some intraday work here, and he's doing standard entries, 2R battle drills. At the peak, he gives back a half an hour essentially on 3 positions, and that was worth $680. Kevin cranks out 1.6 on a nice grind and gets advantage of the afternoon Fed speak. George, I want to encourage you on these days that even the 30-minute bar, these are tradable. I know you like trading right from the opening, but the re-entry was payable and that one was playable. And the continuation, oh, I really want you trading that one. Boy, oh boy. Let me get 3 from Elker here. Here's a fractional gain on Apple. The re-entry pays off huge, and then Apple got torched, literally torched in the Fed speak sell-off. AMD, he does get 4 out, and he had he used a 4R profit target, so he ended up getting paid on performance on that one. The re-entry is the key to sanity, but he does get 0.4. So all is well. Oh, Jonathan had one on here I wanted to show. Did a really nice job. Gets paid right out the gate. Perfect exit. Takes the SFC, gets paid once more. Yeah, those could be dragon horns, especially when it's near the previous turning point. But I think you got a pretty good exit on there at the skin. The only improvement would have been the edge of the dragon. That's not much different. I like this effort on the short side. You could have played this as a cotta too. The re-entry was possible, but I think it's a good idea waiting for the Fed to speak. Although that would have paid. And then he gets a beautiful play on the Fed. He gets that long leg down and then a re-entry here. You could get that entry as soon as the R10 rolls over. So you might have been 1 bar earlier on this one, and does a nice job pulling 7.2R out of this. This is really nice work. And this is in Mexico, EWW. Trade it. All right, let's see if we can get the. Nope. Let's get the. All right. This was quite a large sell-off all the way back down to here on the 150. So still well overbought, but a significant rollback. And just note the size of the range today. The gap up and then all the way back down to the Bollinger Band mean and beyond, past the 30-period anchored VWAP. And this is really vulnerable. So you get this same move tomorrow, it can get all the way back here. On the other hand, this would be a logical place to find support for that kind of recovery. We're going to find out a lot about the resiliency of the people tomorrow on a Friday, but I'm expecting a tactical play, large in either direction, or maybe even both directions. Tomorrow's going to be a trader's delight. All right. Lot of weakness coming in. We're still in bullish normal, but we went into risk off for volatility. Worrying about that. A lot of buy on dips in the US though. And in the European 350. Weakness across the board. Lots of 5DDs to choose from, as well as auto framers. Same thing in the ETFs. Generally speaking, some weakness. Only oil showing any strength. A lot of mechanical auto framers here. Some good names like Intel, Home Depot, Walmart, McDonald's, Coke, all of the stalwarts. No squeezes today because of the large range day. But I like that both Intel, Walmart, McDonald's, Tech, XOK are all on as squeezed as anything can be. So that's pretty good shape. A lot more fall, and now we're seeing the winter creep in. Lots of red across the board. Only Tesla and ExxonMobil averting the pain. These things that are in the red, double reds, are ones that are especially weak. Tesla, marijuana, clean energy, and NVIDIA, the top four for trading value. No change. And we have, like we talked about this as a turning point yesterday, and it voted down hard today. And there goes the 30. And this is really starting to get weak. And now we haven't been in the middle of the river since way back here. This feels like the shot across the bow, as Bill Scheit likes to call it. So let's be ready for a tactical Friday. Lots of volatility in the morning. Don't get wedded to one direction or the other. It's going to be multi-directional tomorrow. Trader's Delight. All right, that's everything for today. We'll get this published and posted.